One of the single most important concepts in leadership development is executive presence. This is what I like to call the missing link. It is the missing link between being an individual contributor or a mediocre people manager to becoming a true leader, a true executive. And often, it's the only thing that you really need to get beyond that threshold of $200,000 per year. In this section, we're going to rely heavily on the book Executive Presence. If you want to learn more, I suggest checking it out. So, there are three major things to consider when we're looking at executive presence. The first is confidence. Are you conveying confidence, regardless of whether you're actually confident internally? Do you have poise? And are you perceived as authentic? In other words, you're conveying the idea that you are in charge, you're the captain of the ship, or at the very least, you deserve to be. And an example of that would be if you're in an interview, you deserve to be the person to get that position, that leadership position. Now, there are three ways that you convey executive presence. The first is how you act. The second is how you speak. And the third is how you look. Now, not all of these are equally weighted. The single most important factor in conveying executive presence is how you act. Are you conveying the idea of gravitas? And basically what gravitas means is that you are taken seriously. You don't seem like some fickle, indecisive person that's going to immediately get angry, get flustered. If there's an emergency, they're not going to remain cool. No, you are someone that is taken seriously. People believe you, and they're confident enough in you to follow you as a leader. That is gravitas. Now, when we look at the data and we look at top leaders, and we consider what are the things behind gravitas, we can rank order them from 1 to 6. So the most important factor is confidence and grace under fire. So when things are getting turbulent, are you still confident? Number 2, decisiveness and showing teeth. Number 3, integrity and speaking truth to power. Number 4, emotional intelligence. Number 5, reputation and standing, and your pedigree. And number 6, vision and charisma. Now, if you look at a lot of conventional wisdom out there about what makes for a good leader, often they'll say charisma. But that's not actually the most important thing. Really, it's about confidence as being the main driver of gravitas. Now, when we look at the animal kingdom and we see who the leaders are, we can look, for example, at alpha gorillas. And one distinction between the alpha male and the other gorillas is that he remains calm and confident. He's not jumping around. He's not nervously shaking. He's not sporadic. He's calm. He's cool. He's collected. Even when things are turbulent, even when there's a threat, even when there's a loud noise, even when people are fearful, they can still turn to the alpha as a show of confidence and calm. So one of the most important things is to never lose your cool as a leader. Another key thing is maintaining eye contact. Now, it's fairly easy to maintain eye contact when you're listening. I can look you in the eyes and receive what you're saying. But it's much more difficult to maintain eye contact when you're speaking. But if you can maintain eye contact when you're speaking, as some authoritative people like Bill Clinton are capable of doing, you're going to seem much more persuasive, you're going to seem much more confident, you're going to have more executive presence. Now, another key thing is you need to be decisive and action-oriented. So, for example, let's say you're on a team and everybody's discussing different ways to go, different solutions to an emergency. Perhaps they're complaining, perhaps they're worried. If you're the one who takes control, makes a decision, and says, this is the action we need to take to move forward, you will have stronger executive presence. Another key thing is not to complain. Lots of people in the business world and organizations are good at complaining. They complain about process. They complain that things aren't fair. But the person with executive presence doesn't. They're more pragmatic. They're more concerned with getting results than they are with complaining about the status quo. Now, another key thing to consider with executive presence is that you're going to have a reputation whether you like it or not. People are going to talk about you. There's going to be a lot of gossip. In fact, being at large companies is very much like being in high school, where people form cliques, they talk about each other behind their backs. So what you need to do as an executive is you need to shape how others perceive you. You need to develop your personal brand. You need to take control of your reputation so other people are not shaping it for you.